Hey guys, what's up? This is Scher talking. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video will be about Romancing Festival Tatyana. This is yet another banner with a global exclusive character. This was not expected, but it's good to talk about it because we do have a return of many limited styles. The reason is that we are celebrating Romancing SaGa 3 in this month. The problem? They are very old styles. Do you need them? Most likely not. But if you like them, well, you still have a value of collection here. We also have some of the old A and S styles here. They don't explain that too much. You have to check the list here going through summon rates and go for the S styles. You see some of those that have pickup. Look, there is a version of Fairy. This one was limited. She's dressed as Rock Bouquet. Then we have the S version of Fatima. This was for Emilia's bear right from the start of the game. There was a Nora. I think this Nora was even yeah, she was limited as well. Yeah, she was. There is this version of Tatyana and Ellen. This version of Tatyana is good because she can get Gong Ringer. Yeah, there's also some A styles, you have to check those. And there is Julian. This one gives Julian the highest agility possible. There is this version of Fatima. This Ace Fatima is not important, as Fatima gives her the sleep attack, this one does not. Tatyana gives Gong Ringer, so Gong Ringer is one attack that you want because it can be upgraded right now. Let me explain this later. Then there is other styles like Mikhail. Well, don't matter. That is this banner, and then the good thing is that because we have so many SS styles, there is no chance of an off banner here. We have 1% for Tatyana, 1% for Julian, and then we have the other styles with the remaining chances. There is Yundin, Katarina, Julian, Monica. This Monica is Christmas Monica. She was not on the image, I think, or was she? Let me see here. Where is Monica here? I'm not seeing Monica here, unless I'm blind. Yes, this is something that was not expected. Well, Christmas Monica was one of the styles that lasted for long in JP and also in Global because Pierce was very hard to find. I can tell you that she could still perform average well for those that don't have any other Pierce options, but recently we got so many good ones. And then there is this other version of Julian, but this is not the Julian that we wanted because Julian has the Christmas style, then he has a tank style. This is the second version of Julian that is a tank. We'll talk about in the review. Then this is New Year's Katarina that was very similar to the Platinum version, with just some better attacks, but still not much better. Then we have Teacher Yundin here. Yes, she was not on the image as well. Teacher Yundin is not bad. I mean, she is probably one of the best styles that you can get here. There's also a School Volcano. This one is terrible, totally terrible. Teacher Yundin at least can do AoE damage, and although we have some free styles that we could farm for cold damage right now, if you missed some of the events, Teacher Yundin can still help you, and if you have other version of Yundin, at least you can inherit a cheap AoE attack. Then there is Fairy, Spear of Punishment. This Fairy is also another good one. And why? Because she does have a way to increase her STR all the time. And with her second skill, it increases her STR. There's a passive that triggers 25% of the chances as well. Well, recently we have characters that can increase all the time, like Teacher, Cordelia, that also do Spears. But Fairy can still be used in a formation where you need more than one Pierce that can use Spear, like Dragon Strike. Or even mix it in Deadly Pierce. Bunny is not that good anymore. She was never that special in my opinion. Bunny is more for those that wanna retry to get her to hit 3 times, so it's not a good idea to pity for Bunny. Then there's Thomas. This Thomas in this era, they are good for the current versions that you can summon. Thomas has Delta Petra, so he petrifies better with his newest style. And Sarah does have a Millionaire, an AoE attack that kinda works well with her recent style if you want just turn 2 damage. And then there is Ellen. This pack is heavy. This Ellen here does have an attack with Column. This one is not bad, but besides that she does have a turn 1 double S damage. It's not triple S, but it can work. And this Mikhail does have a passive that increases pierce damage, but only with a chance. I don't think that he is that good. So if you are planning on someone here, well, if you are a veteran, you probably have most of the styles already. If you are a newcomer, you should think, if you summoned for Thomas or Sarah, you should pity one of them. If you didn't summon for them, the best ones for you to pity are still Thomas. Thomas is still a good one. Julian is also a good one, and those are the best ones. Yes, I mean, after Tatyana and Julian, because they are the recent characters here, they are the most important. Let's say that you, well, got Julian in the last pool and you can still pity. But even then, I don't suggest you going for 3000 gems, even for those other styles, unless, yeah, you are just one multi-pool from pity. So, now it's time to discuss the styles here, and we start with Tatyana. Remember, Tatyana is a global exclusive style. She does not exist on JP, and she has this first limited style. All four other styles were either, the first SS limited style. The other one is Platinum. We will also get one from Spiral Tower. Well, Tatyana has only damage. We start with Roll Beat. This is a very old attack, actually. I don't know why they went with this attack with first, because she does not have any effect on the skill. Its D power, not high, the BP cost is low, at least you can get this to 2, but you will not be using this with her, in my opinion. It's the last interesting skill. Then we do have White Stamp. This attack here is, well, designed for recent game, so if you do remember, most of the first AoE attacks in this game had like 11 BP cost, so you needed to awaken at least once to get to use it on turn 1. Tatyana does have this on 9 BP, so you can reduce to 7. That means that you can use this White Stamp attack 2 times in a 3-turn cycle, but not on turn 1 and turn 2. Either 2 and 3 or 1 and 3. White Stamp is strong enough because she's built for damage. She does have some good agility as well. She can attack first if you want her, or if you are using her with fast, at least she will just use 2 AoEs with very high power. It should be better than other characters that we had recently, like there was Paulus and Summer Elizabeth. They have a cheaper version of their AoEs, although they can keep using it forever. Tatyana cannot. I really wish that they gave her the same cheap AoE attack so that Tatyana could keep using AoE even when she doesn't have VP. But here in this case, Roll Beat is a useless attack for her build. And even with Inheritance, she does not have that cheap AoE attack. That is a bummer. So, in fact, there's one way to get her AoE attack, and that is from one style that is available right now because of Spiral Tower Z. White Hammer can be gotten from her Spiral Tower exclusive one, and this is the cheap attack we wanted. It's still not a 3 BP attack, but 4 BP is good enough, and she can use it when she does not have enough BP to use White Stamp. But guys, the problem is how much time it will take for you to get the style. It took like 8 months to get the Sith style from Tower, so this is bad in the way that you will never know when you get it. But when you do, it's good. But the problem is that her current style is limited, so, well, you wanted that as soon as possible. Well, let me just do something here, get back into the game again. So, White Stamp is strong, although the problem is the cycling. Then we have the last skill called Having Impact, and Having Impact, it's something that I don't understand. We don't have this attack in JP, and the closest thing that we have is Earth Shatter from Nora SS style. Nora is a Platinum style, and she does give increased damage against giants. It's the same delay attack. And what do we know about delay attacks? They are only used after everyone, even your enemy. If your enemy has 3 attacks, it will use 3 attacks, and then only after that, you will use your Having Impact. It's good to control the turn order when you are doing Fatal Island, so you use this skill and you know that she will not be able to perform because you kill the enemies first. And then you could use something else. But the problem here is that, well, this is her trump. This is the best attack. We prefer to have an attack with turn order manipulation when it's not the best one. Although Tatyana can use Gongringer Plus if you go for Inheritance, that we'll still be able to talk about it later. But Having Impact is Triple S. I don't know how much stronger than some other Triple S attacks this is, but because we also have access to Gongringer Plus, you'll probably ignore Having Impact for most of the time. Well, this is for her skills. What we have here now is her passives. It's all about damage, and it makes no much sense to me since we just got Summer Elizabeth. And she was all about damage, but she had at least one passive that will trigger for squad buff. One Let Go gives her something very strange. I really didn't like this, to be honest. The first one, attack damage increases by large effect. So this is fired up 4. This is 15% increase in damage. This is the easiest part. And then when her HP is not full, meaning that it will not be active when you are farming, unless you take a hit. And you don't want to take hit when you are farming. So maybe for bosses, but why? When she's not on full HP, she will get more damage. That is 10% more damage. And the damage taken will be reduced. This is the same thing as the recent version of Sarah with Thomas Banner. She also had this, but in her case it was different. She had a passive on full for damage, full HP more damage, and lower than full HP, less damage received. Medium in fact should be... I don't know how much this decreasing damage, because medium effect for damage is 10%, but for damage resistance it's different. It will allow her to survive better, but, well, at what cost? Then we have the second passive, Rejuvenate. This increases her STR and agility with 25% chance, and the buff should be 20. It's good, because it's on the start of a turn, so it goes before she attacks. Well, in the start of the game, all passives were only when you hit the enemy, so only effective on the next turn. At least this one goes first. And because Matriarch is one of the key characters for boss fights and she keeps buffing agility, if your Tatyana gets more agility by herself, it will allow her to evade faster. Good, but not a guarantee. Like I was saying, Teacher Cordelia can buff her STR every turn, but some other characters also can now. So this is good, but although not perfect. And it's only 25% chances. Fired Up 5 now increases her damage by 20% more. Fired Up 5 is active all the time. She does not have anything related to being attacking a weak enemy, so her damage is consistent when it's working. The only problem is that the second part of the first passive won't be active all the time. When you are farming, like I said, you don't want to get hit. So what do we have? We have 35% at all times, 45% when not on full HP, and also reduction on damage when not on full HP, alongside a buff to STR and agility with 25% when she acts. Is this good enough? I cannot say that this is bad. The problem is that when I look into characters, I usually look on their longevity. Tatyana doesn't seem to have too much longevity. Characters that are just about damage, they can be used if you want, but they get replaced easily. That's why they don't release many debuffers or many buffers or many status inflictors, because they are a little more special. It's harder to overpower creep then. But damage is easy, just increase the numbers, increase the passives, everyone will get stronger within time. Everyone gets newer styles with more damage. So that's why I don't think Tatyana is important. We did had a lot of blunt damage dealers, we just had Summer Elizabeth that can at least buff the squad, and I didn't like her too much. Now we have Tatyana that's a little more about self-damage. She cannot self-heal. She seems to be made for boss fights, although she doesn't have sustain. So what do you make out of this? She will be useful in setups where you want someone in STR position in Rainbow Rangers, or if you have way too many club users using Dragon Strike, or if you want to use in a boss fight where you know that you also have other characters that decrease incoming damage, like Jorg, or using the new Tiger's Den formation. And I think Tatyana will work better in this type of situations, although not the best damage dealer and maybe not the best character to use in boss fights. So now we are on this new website that we have, rsrsdb.com. This is an amazing work from a fellow Brazilian developer, Rain Rafa, so I'll be giving the link here in the description. We'll be talking about this website pretty soon. I'm discussing some stuff with Rafa. He's an amazing guy. Thanks so much for doing that, man. I never thought we could have a global database, and it's awesome. Awesome. So this is our Tatyana, and as you can see, she has 96% STR. That's pretty high. Agility on 80s, that's pretty high for a club user, and her bonuses are on STR and agility, and this one also has 2 arrows for agility, making it easier to get more. Her endurance and will are not bad. As you can see, she can sustain some hits. Even when her passive is triggered, she will survive a little more, but you can see that her love and charisma are kinda low, so she does not have any self-healing, but at least she needed at least some to get from outsourcing. Okay, so what is interesting to inherit here, like I was saying, we need her S style to get Gong Ringer. So Gong Ringer here is a skill that right now is double S damage, but gets upgraded to Gong Ringer Plus. That increases the damage output by like 50% and is insane. And Gong Ringer Plus has a 9 BP cost instead of 10, so you should prefer to get Gong Ringer, and it's available right now for inheritance. And the other one is just like I said, the tower version of her that will give you the skill called White Hammer, so that you can use AoE build forever. That should be good enough. I mean, it's not exactly forever because roll beat can get in the way. Roll beat is 3 BP, so sometimes roll beat will get in your way when you are going for long fights. But this Tatyana is not bad. Like, I'm not saying that the character is bad, it's just that it doesn't offer too much. I mean, right now characters can offer a lot of stuff, and this one here may fail to give you too much stuff. Like, she has some restricted usage in formations, and she does not bring in any double element, or when you see this character for longevity, I must say that it's not that high. And now let's get back into the game and talk about the next character, and that next character is Julian. So Julian is a tank, we know that. This is the second tank style of Julian. Well, he's still a cover tank that can protect allies and reduce incoming damage for them. He already reduces everything that comes after him, so when he protects and reduces again, it's good. Julian can also self-heal with this version, that is pretty amazing, and something that will allow him to survive better in long fights. But Julian now has a lot of competition with many different tanks we have in the game. But more on that later. Let's start with First Slash. This attack here is an AoE attack, but Julian does not have damage passives. I don't know why he has First Slash, but okay. At least it increases his own endurance. He needs more endurance to survive better. His endurance is insane. Right now is 100% for both endurance and will, so he works on any type of content, magical or physical. But he can increase end, but not will. That means that even better on endurance. So, First Slash is good for that, but not for damage. And now the second skill is called Star Strike. This one is pretty amazing because it can heal. It's an S power damage. Well, S power is not that high since we can get double S with APP already, but remember, Julian does not do damage anyway. He's more about sustain, and this is important. Medium healing without spending LP. He will reduce the stress of your healer. That's something that's very important. The problem is that the cost is too high. Guys, let me tell you something. We get some styles that can self-heal with lower cost, like even SaGa. SaGa is not a tank, of course, but Summer Final Empress, she can heal all turns with a way lower cost, although she takes so much damage that she needs to keep constantly healing. In Julian's case, he reduces the incoming damage by a lot, so he does not need healing all the time, and his healing effect is way better. Let me check the heal effect. Okay, I just checked it, and in JP it's around 800 or something. In his case, right now on global it should be around 600. Because we have 1.3 cap for HP, it means that he heals for half of his total HP in a boss fight with this. 8 BP means that you'll be using this every 3 turns. Is it good enough? I don't know. If you're using some more sustain like Nawal's daughter to give you guard up, or even more status bonuses, or Matriarch to give even more status, I think that it can be okay. It will depend on the stages, but yeah, I miss a cheaper heal to keep him up. But okay, Star Strike is good enough in my opinion. Then the last attack is called Star String, and this one is useless. In my opinion, it's useless. Why? We have this with Ferdinand. This attack here is an AoE with both Slash and Pierce A power. A power is not that high. We do have characters that can do S damage already with AoEs, and the thing here is the cost. It's too much. It's 12 when you fully awaken. At least there is Slash plus Pierce, but when he attacks, he reduces his own STR, and he already has low damage output, so why would you use this as damage, or why would you use this to reduce his STR even further? I don't know. And he was not supposed to be used against AoE anyway. And if you want to use an AoE, use your sheep attack First Slash so that you can get an endurance buff. Don't use the last one. Ignore this attack like the plague. And this is Julian's attacks. you should just stick to skill 1 and 2, and probably just skill number 2 in boss fights. Julian relies too much on his passives than his skill to perform, so the first one, Princess Guard, is what makes him a cover tank. He has a 40% chance of taking a nice place to receive damage. Because he reduces damage by a lot, it means much. If you are using a mage to debuff, you know mages have low resistance, and he can protect your mages sometimes, allowing them to survive better. And he also will self-heal after time, reducing the stress of many of your healers. If you think that a fight is taking too much risks, inserting Julian in your setup may help. But the problem with Julian is that he does not have taunt. He is also one type of tank that don't need to, well, have taunt to work. You can even use him on a Rainbow Rangers because cover does not affect taunt. So, well, if you want him to be attacked more often, you should use Tiger Shag formation, because in the front he will be receiving hits more often. But you can also use him on a Tiger's Den formation, you can also use him in a Rainbow Rangers formation just fine, even in an STR slot or some other slot that you still have, because he will defend anyway. But the second passive, when attacked and he reaches 0 HP, he will revive with 50% of his own HP. One time only. This is something that we had a lot in the past with some tanks. It's pretty good, massive, because I think that in the past it was more useful in characters that had parry. Why? Because parry is still a little costly. Sometimes you will have a turn where you don't have parry available. And if you die on that turn, you could still use parry again on the next one because you had VP. In Julian's case, it is good enough because you sometimes may fail to heal in time with his Star Strike attack, allowing him to still survive. Well, good enough. Then Iron Wall Defense 5. This reduces the damage when he's attacking. Let me check the volume. So the damage will be reduced by 30% at all times. So this is pretty massive for him. He also can increase it even further if you have his past tank style. And has a skill that increases guard up. But if you are using him with Nawal's Daughter already provides that. Minstrel also provides. In the future, another character called Golden Ball will also provide. And if you're using Tiger's Den, it increases it even further. Julian will be almost unkillable in these scenarios where you wanna, well, reduce incoming damage. But like I said, he kind of feels like he's lacking a little if you don't have the first style that gives guard up, but you can compensate that with other styles. And now since he has higher status, it's even better than JP. But let's get a look on his status. So we are here back on rsdsdb.com, and this is Julian. Julian has many styles, and we will be able to get even this one and this other one here, if we want to pull on this banner, since they are featured as well. But like I was saying, his status was buffed for global. Now he has 100% endurance, 100% will, double arrows for will, there is one arrow for wind, and if you want his agility to be high, you kind of need this one that you also can summon on his banner. This one was featured in the past, so many people already have. You also could get him for free. This one has double arrows for agility, and it breaks through the agility to get even higher. But Julian, like I said, really can work without inheritance. Even through this attack here, like I said, call it attack and defend, gives him guard up medium and can help. This is, I think, 15 resistance to damage. Yes, should be like that. And it's also cheap, so 3 BP means that you can use it all the time. It's not like Mirza. Mirza has a version of this attack, but it's 6 BP. Although, since it works for 2 turns, you don't need to keep using all the time. You will be saving BP to heal if you want to use this. It's an interesting thing, but if you don't have, you can just stick to this endurance buff by using skill number 1. And at least this is AoE, so it will work all the time. Although, like you see, it's 4 BP, so there will be some turns where you won't have this. But I still believe that Julian is the best character out of this banner. Why? Because he's unique. There is no character that you can directly compare. Now we can directly compare our Tatyana against Summer Elizabeth and many other blunt damage dealers that will appear in the future. If you already have Liza, Let's return here. If you already have Liza or many other blunt damage dealers like Commando Emilia or someone like Rofus, you really can skip Tatyana. She will not provide more than what you already have. There's another blunt damage dealer that's amazing. Red, global exclusive Red was amazing, and his AoE and single target cycles are better. But Julian does bring something new to the table. Being resistance, sturdy, he can revive, he can protect, he can be used in the newest formation Tigers Den, that's amazing for future content. And the problem is, the banner where he is. Do you really want Tatyana? You may want to take Julian, but instead get Tatyana and have to pity Julian. If you already have other tanks, you may just skip Julian for now and maybe aim for him in the future. I have some other tanks like Cotton, I have Doll, I have UDX Madeline, I have Annie, and sometimes I don't even know which one I will be using, and I can probably use most of them in the same content and they will work. There's another one as well, Ren. Ren does have a lower cover, it's 25% chance only, but Ren does have an AoE STR debuff, and that can help you in many situations. So Julian, good, but the banner, no. So one thing for sure, Julian is the best style here. If you are a veteran, you will not find too many reasons to summon here. You can think about, you know, if you summon for Tatyana, you may get her S style to get Grongringer. Yundin has some value, but all the other styles are just being replaced by newest ones. And the only good thing is to think that you'll be getting some new styles to also increase your weapon masteries and also some inheritance, although not many of them does offer something that is useful. You can increase the number of styles you have if you are a newcomer. But I still believe you should be waiting and see what they will be doing with the next banner, since they removed Julian from his original banner that had Black, Forneus and Boston. And now Julian is paired up with Tatyana that offers way less, but also all other protagonists. I think they did this because they wanted to include the most number of protagonists and playable characters from Romancing Saga 3 here, and Tatyana didn't have any limited style, so this could kinda make people summon. That's why they made this limited Tatyana. Just didn't get too creative with her. And Julian is one of the most famous protagonists, so it's a way to draw more attention. Although, where is Khalid here? I still wait for a good style for Khalid. He was in a returning banner, but that version still lacks some thing, I don't know. This Khalid here didn't impress me too much. And looking on some other rerun banners, as you can see, we still have Beauty that offers a lot. She has an agility debuff that will be useful forever. Global exclusive Monica is good, but not perfect all the time. There is a newest version of Monica that deals more damage, although this one has a AoE buff for Pierce. This Khalid is a buffer for Slash and Lightning. Lightning gets so much stronger with this Khalid. Rock Bouquet, it's a good pair. Maybe that's because we had Rock Bouquet recently that they just released Khalid again. And that's it, guys. The other banner does not offer that much value as well, so those that are still saving gems for future Final Fantasy Legends or whatever, they may skip this easily. If you already have other tanks, if you have other sources of plant, this may be the lowest value banner we receive, even with that many styles. Doesn't matter if the styles are old or not that useful anymore. Sometimes you summon this character, you think, let me train Professor. Why should be training Professor? One more character to train if you already have Emilia, or if you have Vaganus that offers way more. You see? Maybe just for collection. But that's about it, guys. Thanks so much for watching this video. Also, if you want to help the channel, you have the links here in the description alongside the link to the new database. Please go check. Let's praise this work, amazing work from Rain Rafa, and we'll see each other on the next video. Bye.